Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. That's a good way to start, huh?
Yeah.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah.
It is a Saturday. You know what I realized, by the way, Jesse, producer Jesse is here as always. And I'll give folks a chance to join if there's anyone to join today. You know what I realized?
What's that?
That as much as we have in today's world, we have these weather apps where we seem to, Bridget, hello, happy Saturday. We have these, weather apps on our phones and on the computer and stuff like that. I was realizing as I was getting ready today that I have no idea what the weather is. I should know what the weather is all the time because I have these weather apps. And we just had a thunderstorm roll through here.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh no, what's going to happen? We might lose power or something like that. And why is that? Why can't I should be able to keep track of the weather very easily, but apparently I can't do it.
I think because it depends on the app. Like the app will change. So like I looked at it this morning and it said, "Oh, it's not."
Oh, there you go. Did you get a notification that the app changed? Oh, it's going to rain.
It says the rain's going to stop.
Oh.
But it'll say like, "Oh, it's clear today. Oh, it's just a little cloudy." And then when the rain is coming, it's just like, "Oh, by the way, there's going to be some rain." And you're like, "Wait, but I looked hours ago and there's no rain."
I was just looking outside and I thought it was sunny out, and then I thought, why is it raining now? The thing is, and then we end up looking on the computer and talking about it again.
Yeah.
It just seems like I should be very aware of what the weather is like, but apparently I'm not. So
sorry, that cushion back there is bothering me.
Which cushion is that?
The one in the shop.
Oh, is there one? Oh, that's right. I was thinking about moving that before because every time I move this way, you can see the cushion back there, right?
Yeah.
You can see your pile of puzzles over there too,
yeah.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Happy Saturday. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're watching. We're going to talk about road films again today once we get going here. I'm so confused. Modesty Blaze, hello. And we're doing well. We were just talking about Scott is here also from I was going to say Hawaii. I guess I want to go to Hawaii. From Ohio. I don't know how I got Ohio. Film Fan 78 is here. Hello. Happy Saturday.
Oh, we were going to talk about
what was I going to talk about? Oh, really? The Rubik's Cube? Was I going to talk about it?
Talk about it, yeah.
I was going to talk about it?
I thought you were.
Maybe I should, but it's terrible. Producer Jesse is working with these Rubik's Cubes. We're learning how to do the Rubik's Cube, which I feel like I should know how to do it. I just need to sit down and watch some videos on it and learn about it a little bit more. But you do it really well.
Yeah.
I should mix this up and see if you can solve it during the thing. We don't have two here either, so you can't. Oh, that's right. I was thinking you could it could be like one of those cooking shows where you have a finished one already.
Oh,
I give you that. I hand it to you, and then all of a sudden it's just done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Rubik's Cube, that's we're working on that. I also have lovely video work by Jesse on the vlog video. Thank you so much. And Jesse does an amazing job. Producer Jesse is here all the time, of course, and just monitoring the chat and I was thinking for fact checking for me because I might mention something that's completely not true at all related to movies.
I'm also the editor.
You do editing. You do the editing. Yeah. I think. I mean, you do an amazing job. It's looks great. Hopefully, you like those.
Well, thank you.
Film Fan 78 also said really like the vlog. Hopefully, you'll see more of those, and they will be film themed. But we'll do a little bit more of those. We don't go out that often, but it will show some weather and some food that we're interested in, or like we're getting ready for the to give donations to the library. So I had a little segment in there about that.
Yep.
I guess I didn't talk about this. I've been really fascinated with Aki Kaurismäki films lately, so I'm really watching a lot of those. But I will talk a little bit about this one. I did a video on this one too, but this is a great movie on the Criterion channel right now. But you can get this Blu-ray from Oscilloscope, and it's a film from Carolina Cavalli called Amanda, which I really like. This is in Italian with subtitles, of course, but it's really great. A really great film. I stumbled upon it. I've been watching the Criterion has a 24/7 streaming channel, which I think is a pretty good idea. But what I try to do is I'll look at the streaming channel and I'll try to guess what the movie is. And sometimes I can guess what it is, and many times I can't. And it becomes a little mystery to do.
Oh yeah, last night we took a little bit to figure out, right?
Yeah, we end up putting it on, and then I'll recognize an actor that's in the movie, or I'll recognize something about the film, and then we can figure out what it is. But sometimes it's a film that's not even in the Criterion Collection either.
Right, like last night it was like Maurice.
Maurice with
something.
Hugh Grant was in it, yeah, which I hadn't seen before. Modesty Blaze said, "I meant to ask where you are in America. It looks like a lovely location. We are on the East Coast, not really the East Coast. I guess we're in New York, but sort of in the middle of New York." Central New York, northern central New York. Yeah,
I don't even know what it's called anymore.
I don't know, but it is great here. We have all the seasons and everything like that. We used to live in California for many years, and it's nice to have all the seasons. But as we were saying today, apparently I can't. With all these weather apps, I just have no idea what the weather is.
Yeah,
something's wrong with that.
Well, because it's not like you get the hourly.
Sculder, hello.
You get the hourly forecast, and then it changes. And then they're just like, "Oh, the rain's coming now." But I looked 3 hours ago, and it didn't say rain all day.
I know why. I don't understand that. And then it's just a storm, but we never take an umbrella with us anyway. But
no.
Modesty Blaze said, "My husband and I left the city and moved to the countryside in Wales." Wow, that must be amazing too. We'd love to get to Europe at some point, or the UK. I mean, I'd love to, get over there whenever we decide to travel again. But anyway, I was talking about this movie Amanda, which is on the Criterion Channel, but this is an oscilloscope Blu-ray release, which is really great. There's the back of that. There's the back of that one. This one is I'll read some of the description here. Born into an upper-class family with a doting mother who foots the bill for her indolent lifestyle, 24-year-old combative Amanda searches for boyfriends, but only finds misfits who are repelled by her intensity. She longs for connections, but has never had a friend of her own until she discovers a long-lost childhood bond, spurring a mission to convince another recluse that they're still best friends. I think this is a great movie. Oh, and Bridget said that also in the UK. I'd love to get back to the UK. I was in the UK, I think in the late 90s, and I remember doing a tour of London, which I really enjoyed a lot. It was a bus tour of London, I think, but I'd love to go with you. We should go for sure.
Yeah, we should.
So let us know what a good time to go is. I was in a town called Swindon in June, I think, and it was really great because I remember one of the things I remember about it is I was in this hotel that was a castle. I was there on business, and I remember reading some Shakespeare at like 10 o'clock at night in this beautiful bath. I was sitting in a bathtub reading Shakespeare at 10 o'clock at night because it was, the sun was out still.
Yeah.
So that was my one memory, one of the many memories I have from the UK. Amanda on the Criterion Channel, also from Oscilloscope. What's everyone watching too? Let us know. You can always ask a question in the chat. If you're watching on replay too, you can leave a question, leave a comment. I love answering those things. And I do want to say thank you so much to everyone who attends these and who comments on the videos and will ask a question. That's great. I love those. And we're going to be talking about road films today. So if you have a favorite road film, we realize that I have a huge stack of films here today.
Yeah, we pulled some that were mentioned in the chat last week.
Yeah, we pulled some that were mentioned in the chat. But hey, Wayne. Wayne said, I enjoyed your last video about the Criterion Channel. I really, like I said, I don't know if you're doing this, Wayne, but the Criterion 24/7 streaming channel is a lot of fun. I wish they would put the title of the movie that they're showing, but I do find it fun to try to guess what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
I have to remember to pause today too. Well, sometimes I talk a lot, and then
a lot of times you end up watching the 24/7 channel, and you watch like the last 25 minutes of the film,
and then I watch it
from
the beginning.
Oh, now I have to go watch from the beginning.
Yeah, which is fine, right? So I did that with a couple of films, and I started to do that. If you watch my latest vlog video, you'll see how my latest film of obsession is with a filmmaker by the name of Aki Kaurismäki, and I saw one film. I saw part of one film on the Criterion 24/7 streaming channel, and I said, "This is a filmmaker I have to. I can't believe I've gone this long without seeing any of his films." And so now I'm watching interview. You know how obsessed I get with movies.
Yeah, I mean, luckily there's a big backlog for you
There's
to
a
watch.
backlog for me to
Because
watch. There's a whole
sometimes you
feature
find
on there.
someone and there's like 2 movies, and you're like, well, that lasted, a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, but this is going to last a lot longer, I think. But
Well, I think it helps when you watch the 24/7 feature to know that any movie in the 24/7 feature is on the Criterion channel
yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
So that helps because it's not just like it's not any movie. It's a specific subset of films, right?
right.
And if you catch it in the middle, you can go find it and watch it.
You can find it and watch it, exactly. And some of them, yeah. And now I'm in search of the Kurosmaki. There's a film collection which is out of stock in a lot of places, which is a Region B release of a lot of the earlier films too. Fallen Leaves, Scott says too, as the Eclipse box set, as are the Eclipse box sets for Kurosmaki, which also Kurosmaki has the Proletariat trilogy, which I've been catching up on the Criterion channel. So I started with the Match Factory. Well, the Match Factory Girl is the last film in the Proletariat trilogy. And then I was finishing up Shadows in Paradise, which is a phenomenal film. I mean, these films to me are very poetic, just like Bergman films. And Kurosmaki as a screenwriter too is very, a lot of the dialogue is very minimal, which I like. The characters are deadpan, I mean, a lot of times, but I find it very enjoyable, very comforting to watch the films, which may seem bleak in the beginning, but they also get very hopeful. At least the ones I've watched, make me very hopeful, very encouraged. And I just think he's a genius. Wayne said, I enjoy, let me just go back here. Skulder said, I'm watching disc 8 of the 21 disc Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy box set. Wow, that sounds amazing. That's something I need to get now. Modesty Blaze said, road film. Sadly, we don't have the Criterion channel here. We have the discs though. I have some to show too. I have a lot of things to show today. So we're just kind of getting into it right now. But
is the Criterion channel something that like a VPN would allow access for?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Because it's only available like in the US and Canada.
Maybe. I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
I know that, like,
I think that's been tried before, but I'm not sure.
I
don't have an answer for that.
Because we watched that one vlogger, and she is in Korea, and she'll use VPN to watch other things, right?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know if that's an option, but Wayne said, I enjoy style. I was just going to say that I noticed that right away. I would watch it more if I knew the title. Maybe they'll fix that. I know there's groups on Facebook where they talk about the fact that you don't know what the film is, but again, it's kind of a game that I like to play. Wayne said, I haven't watched as many movies lately as I usually do because I'm watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, which we're watching the NBA playoffs right now too, but we can only see the Western Conference games because we talked about this last week. The Eastern Conference games are on ABC, right?
They're on ESPN.
ESPN or ABC or something.
Today's game is on ABC.
Is it?
And then we're not sure if you can watch ESPN on YouTube TV. And then the finals.
It's very confusing.
The finals are on YouTube TV. So
what
these are like the last games we'll get to watch, unless we want to pay for another show.
Well, and then we end up watching the clips, right? So we can watch a couple video, like summary videos on YouTube, but it's not really the same as watching the game completely too. If at any, I was going to say to everyone too, if at any point you have trouble hearing us, let us know. I'm hoping the audio is okay and you can hear Jesse also, which I think is the case, but I always like to check.
Yeah.
So that's what, anyway, back to Kurosmaki.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be making a lot of videos on this too, I think, but here's the copy of Fallen Leaves, which is an amazing film. I knew I was going to love this as soon as I ordered it, just based on the description. And this is a movie release. It's only 81 minutes. Again, it's subtitled. It doesn't have a lot of features on here, but it does have a Q&A with the actor and actress in the movie. I'll read the back a little bit too, in case you're interested in Fallen Leaves, and I'll probably show this in a haul video also. Award-winning filmmaker Aki Kaurismäki, Le Havre, The Other Side of Hope. By the way, Le Havre was the one that I saw first, and I was really drawn into it. When I watch a film, usually, I really get drawn into these films and really connect to them in a way. I love filmmakers where I feel like I can connect to the content as I'm watching it. And this is definitely true for Kaurismäki. Kaurismäki makes a masterful return with Fallen Leaves. Again, this movie's from 2023. The movies I've been watching have been from the 80s to the Proletariat trilogy from the 80s. Kaurismäki makes a masterful return with Fallen Leaves, a timeless, hopeful, and ultimately satisfying love story. It's really love. These are love stories, too, about two lonely souls' path to happiness and the numerous hurdles they encounter along the way. Set in contemporary Helsinki and shot through the Kaurismäki typically playful, idiosyncratic style and deadpan humor. That's really what it is, deadpan humor, which I find very interesting and funny and comforting. This tender, romantic, tragic comedy is a timely reminder of the potency of moviegoing from one of cinema's living legends. I love this movie. This is an amazing movie. This release also comes with these art cards also, if you get the movie release, which I think was on sale too, on Amazon at least. And this is region A. Modesty Blaze said Two-Lane Blacktop is the last road trip film we watched, which I happened to pull here today. Two-Lane Blacktop is just underneath here somewhere. Where's that one? Here it is, Two-Lane Blacktop. Gotta be careful I don't talk too loud close to the microphone here, but here's Two-Lane Blacktop. Great. That's a great pick as a road picture. This is really great too because James Taylor is the driver. Warren Oates is amazing in this, is the GTO. Laurie Bird is the girl. Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys. We started watching that Beach Boys documentary, which seemed very generic on Disney Plus, but I do love the Beach Boys. But drag racing east from Los Angeles in a souped-up 55 Chevy are the wayward driver and mechanic. And again, interesting to see James Taylor in a role, and the Beach Boys, Dennis Wilson, and their only acting roles. Wow. Accompanied by a tag-along girl played by Laurie Bird. Along the way, they meet Warren Oates with his Pontiac GTO, driving wanderer, and challenge him to a cross-country race. So this is a great road picture. Great pick for that. And this is by number 414 from the Criterion Collection. And there's the back of that too. Lots of extra features on this one too. This is a great Blu-ray. Highly recommend it too. If you're interested in getting these during the Criterion sale, which is usually there's a Barnes & Noble sale here coming up pretty soon.
Road trip race.
I know there's a bunch of these too. So Wayne said, I actually prefer movies. This is an interesting thing too, that are not longer than 2 hours, that are not longer than 2 hours long, and really like less than 2 hour movies. Weren't we just talking about this too before? Maybe we talked about it a little bit where we were saying that, I like a shorter movie.
I feel like movies used to be like an hour or 20 minutes.
Movies used to be an hour and 20 minutes. Why are they so long now?
It's like 80 minutes, right?
80 minutes. Right?
An hour.
Well, 81 minutes. That's why I like Falling Leaves so much, right?
An hour and 45 minutes. That's how long the movie used to be.
I mean, I think some of them were longer. I think the blockbusters were a little bit longer than that, right?
Were they? I mean,
I don't know.
How long is Jaws?
You could. I don't know if it'll show the thing there, but.
Oh, of course, this fancy edition doesn't show me.
I think it's about 2 hours. I think it's rings in right around 2 hours.
2 hours and 4 minutes.
2 hours and 4 minutes. Jesse and I always are. I don't know if you do this or not, but we always are sharing movie quotes all the time. We're always sharing movie quotes from some of our favorite movies. And a lot of times it's like quotes from, Four Christmases or Step Brothers or something like that. And many films are just too long. Modesty Blaze also said, many films just too long. Now, how are we going to get through Dune 2? This
is an hour and 43 minutes.
Yeah, perfect, right? It's perfect. And yeah, that's probably another topic we can approach at some point. But
89 minutes.
But how are we going to get through Dune 2, which is 3 hours long? We're going to have to take breaks.
It's going to be like 2 days worth.
We're going to have to. Oh, James, hello, welcome. 90 minutes. That is for 91 minutes. Yeah, is a good length. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why I can't. I don't know why I have to take breaks, I guess. But Bridget said, I saw Furiosa today. Oh, tell us how Furiosa is too. I'm interested in that Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
I heard that this could be wrong, but I heard that the actress in the movie, the main actress in the movie, had some difficulty filming that, or there were some challenges in the movie. I don't know if it's true or not, but 2.5 hours long. Let us know if we should go see that. Sculder said, I got Two Lane Blacktop, the UK release from Eureka's Masters of Cinema. I wish I could get more Masters of Cinema. That's, Eureka, because I mean, what a great line of.
Are those the ones with the fancy covers?
I mean, they're beautiful releases. I wish I could get more of those. I probably could order them because there's other distributors in the US.
Is that the one that they have the Jaws one, or am I thinking of something else?
Maybe it's another one. I'm not sure about that, but they have some beautiful releases, which I would love to get. Wayne said there are some good 3-hour movies, but it gets tiresome to have to set aside 3 hours just to watch a movie. I totally agree. Sometimes it's really tough to do that. Luckily, the movies I've been watching lately have been really shorter. Not to say that long movies are not bad, that it's bad to watch a long movie, but I'm used to watching like in the Bergman set, there's a 5-hour non-theatrical release of was it Scenes from a Marriage? Scenes from a Marriage, something like that. Anyway, there's longer releases. Fanny and Alexander has a non-theatrical release, which is very long, but I think
it's interesting. It's like we're watching Walking Dead, right? And then certain episodes are an hour instead of the 42 minutes. So I think sometimes having a film around like an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, like it gives you a certain window where you have to tell your story. But then if you could just make it 3 hours or 3.5 hours, then it's like, at what point should it be a miniseries than a movie, right?
What was that quote we had though, where people say like, "There's no way I can watch a 10-hour film, but we're willing to binge." 10 hours
like,
of the.
Will you watch a 10-hour film? No. Will you watch 10 1-hour episodes? Yes, I will in one day.
Of one day, yeah. Yeah. Let us know if you're watching anything streaming too. Any series that you like streaming, because we have a few of the streaming services still. Weren't we going to watch Bridgerton? I think I might be interested in Bridgerton. I just haven't seen it yet.
We'll have to wait till the middle of
season
June
3
for the rest of the season to come out.
Oh, because they're doing it like in a couple of
so it came out like May 14th or something, and it's coming out like June 13th or something.
I might be. Oh, see, this is the thing I was thinking about. 3 Days of the Condor has a beautiful Eureka release. There's so many. This is the thing. I'm going to have to order some at some point. I just haven't done it.
We should wait for
Bridget
Furiosa.
said, for Furiosa, wait for the streaming or physical release. But luckily, I didn't really waste any money as I have a Cinema Unlimited. Oh, that's nice to have a Cinema Unlimited. I think they have that for AMC here too. You can pay a monthly fee.
Yeah.
And then you can go see as many movies as you like.
I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Wayne said Oppenheimer's a great movie, but I've only watched it once and have the 4K of the movie. We have the Blu-ray of the movie. But it is a long. That's another long one.
Over 2 sittings and only got halfway through.
We only got halfway through it, yeah, for sure. This is a good point though, because a lot of movies are just, for Dune 2, I think we're excited about it to watch it on Max. I still need to buy it also, the physical release, but we love the first one, so I'm sure we're going to like the second one.
But it's interesting that when we sat down, we watched Dune twice, Dune 1 twice.
Yeah.
And both times we're like, okay, we'll just
Dune
watch
Part 2 one time.
And now I think for Dune Part 2 or Dune 2, as we call it around here.
Dune 2?
We're like, all right, we've got to like set aside some time for it. But it's interesting that with the first one, we didn't think about the time that much. But with the second one, we're like, all right, we got to gear up.
Well, it's 3 hours. I mean, we have to set aside 3 hours for that.
Is the first one only 2 hours?
I think it's still right around 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we won't feel how long it is.
Maybe I don't know.
Some movies you're like, wow, this is going really well, and then other times you're like, wow, this is 3 hours long.
We started Dune Part 1 like at 11 o'clock at night, and for some reason was able to get through it, the whole thing, because we were really interested in it. But part of it, I think, was the music and the way the story moved and everything. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
you remember that one time we started Terminator at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night?
Oh yeah, did we watch the whole thing?
We watched the whole thing.
Yeah, well, Terminator. I mean, the original Terminator is good. That's a good movie. But let us know what else you're watching too, or if you're streaming anything interesting, anything fun. Should we get? We've been kind of debating whether we should get Netflix again. We haven't had Netflix in a long time, and I really haven't missed it, honestly.
Me neither.
Except for Bridgerton now.
Well, yeah.
Now that I saw that
kind
TikTok this morning about Bridgerton.
Oh, you saw? Oh, which one?
Remember yeah, we saw one TikTok about how there was somebody who was not interested in Bridgerton, and then it was one of those
Oh,
videos
Brian,
where
right? Brian's
yeah,
video.
there was a TikTok video that we were watching where someone was not interested, and then by the end,
He's
how they have
invested.
those videos where they show people that their first time watching,
Oh, like that one for Yellowstone. where,
Yellowstone.
Like, I watched season 1 of Yellowstone, and they're all like normal, and then by like season 4, they've got like a cowboy.
They have a
hat
cowboy
and
hat on
accent.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about Walking Dead too, which we're really enjoying this time around, and we're on season 8 finally, and
We're in the new episode territory for us.
new episode. Yeah, exactly. So, and we have 3 seasons left to go on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's exciting. So we watch a couple hours of that, and then I'll put on a movie at night, which I'm calling my reading because I'm reading subtitles.
Yeah.
So I'm reading a book, but I'm also reading the subtitles too, which sometimes can make me a little tired. But so road films. First of all, before we get into road films too, I'm going to say this is our weekend to watch. Usually, some people like to watch this movie over July 4th. I like to watch it over Memorial Day, and that would be Jaws. Still in the top 5 favorite movies for me of all time. This is the 4K with the lenticular cover, so you can see the Jaws moving there. I've been watching these videos about how there's a seems to be a great white shark issue in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Yeah. I grew up in Massachusetts on the East Coast, and so I've been watching some of those videos because of what's happening there. So there's a different situation on the Cape right now with the seal population. Not to get into too many of the details, but this is a movie that we're going to watch this weekend. I feel sure we will watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I just found my Jaws book. This one has a little Jaws booklet in it too, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that there was a booklet.
Yeah, there's a booklet in here. See, you can see there's the orca as it's sinking. Let's see what kind of pictures. I haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, look at this. They have like all the posters you could see from the different. These are also posters from the different, countries, right? Have you seen that?
No, I see it now on the screen.
You can see it on the screen. Oh, yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And the different ways that it was marketed. I love also the ones that have Quint and Brody and Hooper in the picture. Skulder, I hope you feel better. Skulder says I'm sick and right now I'm staying at home. Have not watched TV shows at all for some reason. Need to continue with Yellow Jackets season 1. I think we made it most of the way through season 1, but I hope you feel better. Scott says I've been working my way through a number of Radiance film titles, most recently Misunderstood and Shape of Night. Those are all those Radiance titles are amazing. Also, they really do a great job. Now is really a great time to be collecting physical media if you're not already. I'm sure most everyone here is already doing that, but with this also you get Quint's monologue.
Oh,
look at that, Quint's monologue.
Wow. Which
is cool in this little booklet. Which was, I think, partly or mostly rewritten by Robert Shaw, if I'm not mistaken, which it probably says in here. Yeah, surprisingly, the speech didn't come from Peter Benchley's novel, which I just read for the first time this year. I not for the first time. I had read it many, many years ago, but I reread it this year.
Yeah.
The speech was conceived by Howard Sackler, who was an uncredited writer, didn't want any credit. And then I was looking for the part in here where it said that Robert Shaw really, really took a crack at it. And of course, John Milius was part of this too. There's a great little documentary on John Milius, which I have seen. But it was really Robert Shaw took the speech and Robert did the cut down. So Robert did some of the work on the speech, which is one of the best monologues, I think, anywhere. You get some storyboards in this little booklet. This is in the 4K, by the way. If you don't have this, if you don't have Jaws. Original storyboards, which is cool. The original blueprints for this looks like for the shark, for Bruce the shark. We're going to be watching this for this. I love all these. Anyway, this is a great little booklet to get. And all these releases have interesting things about them, some trivia. And so anyway, That is the 4K release of Jaws with a lenticular cover, which I love. And of course, I have the Steelbook. I have so many copies of this movie, but I think it's since it's my favorite film, one of my top favorite films, I think I'm going to always have a lot of copies of it.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, kind of a journey picture. We were talking last week about how this movie is also a journey. And so could you say that it's a road picture? It's not technically a road picture because it's not on the road like Two Lane Blacktop is, for example, but it is a movie where the characters go through a journey.
Yeah, I think last week we started with road trips, and then we were talking about how there are other road trip style films that are not in a car.
Yeah,
and so that's
how we got into the journey.
And then how does a road trip or a trip turn into a journey? And then a lot of films are a journey, even if they don't involve a vehicle.
Yeah. Skelder said last streaming watches were First Night and America's Sweethearts as they're leaving Netflix in my region. Seen both before, but wanted to rewatch. It's nice to rewatch those things too, especially if you don't have the physical medium. Wayne said I got the 4K of Jaws, but I guess I got the peasant version without a booklet. There is another 4K out there, I think, too. I can't remember if this one. This is maybe the one with the lenticular cover is the only one that has the booklet. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, there's one that doesn't.
That doesn't have the booklet. Yeah. Well, this one's got the slipcover too. We were just watching today. We were just watching the if you've ever seen the deleted scenes, there's a scene with Robert Shaw and his assistant, and there's a little dog that they have with them too. And they go into this music store to buy some piano wire.
Yeah.
And Robert Shaw as Quint is making fun of there's a music student in there playing the clarinet, and so he's making fun of him. Right.
The one you have is the 45th anniversary limited edition.
With the lenticular cover.
With the 4K Blu-ray digital lenticular packaging and 44-page collectible booklet.
Yeah.
If you don't own Jaws, it is currently on Amazon for Blu-ray of $7.50.
So you can get Jaws if you haven't seen Jaws before and you're interested in it from 1975.
Blu-ray digital for $7.50.
$7.50. That's a great price.
Yeah.
Great price for that movie.
You can also get the
DVD
for $6.
I have every edition of it. I think I have all the anniversary editions of it. Laserdisc.
They're still available.
If you want to get every edition of it, you can. Thelma and Louise. We did talk about Thelma and Louise, which I still need to pick up on the previous. We did talk about that.
I feel like we've watched some of that movie.
Yeah, right? I had seen it years before. Of course, Brad Pitt, I think, started out in that movie.
Is
right?
Gina Davis in that movie?
Gina Davis is in that. Yeah. Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Is in that. That's a great road picture. I talked about Jaws already. Okay.
We didn't talk about this one though.
Oh yeah. This is a great road picture, and I love the cover of this. This is probably one of the first Criterions I picked up, and it's this movie I watched as a kid. It's a mad. I always get the number of mads wrong, but it's a mad world. There's 4 mads in that.
Are there?
It's a mad world. You have to look at the commas, and then you can get the.
Yeah.
But I love that cover. This one also has Peter Falk in it.
Yeah.
As you probably would be interested to know. Andre, hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday. We're talking about road pictures again today. And this is look at all the extra features on this one too. This is one of the first Criterion Blu-rays I picked up. And I love the packaging. But this is, if you haven't seen this movie before, this was on TV a lot when I was a kid. Stanley Kramer and the Oscar followed his Oscar-winning Judgment in Nuremberg with this sobering investigation of American greed. It's a mad world about a group of strangers fighting tooth and nail over buried treasure. Is the most grandly harebrained movie ever made. A pileup of slapstick, performed by a non-pareil cast, including Milton Berle is great in this. Sid Caesar, lots of cameos. Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, Spencer Tracy, Jonathan Winters, also a classic improv actor and comedian. And what a great film this is. And let me see if I can see. I didn't realize Buster Keaton was in this. But there's lots of cameos. Phil Silvers, also Dick Shawn, Buddy Hackett. Ethel Merman is great in this movie. Don Knotts. I'm just looking for Peter Falk now. Peter Falk, there he is, right there. Peter Falk is down there. He's in the credits down here somewhere. But Norman Fell also. James said, Thelma and Louise, the 4K was my favorite release last year. Great packaging. And the 4K brings out the nice cinematography of the southwestern landscapes of the film. That's great. I still need to get the 4K. I've seen the movie, but that's one that's on my list. But clearly now I'm going to be going for the Kaurismäki films.
Yeah,
are at the top of my list right now. We're talking about Aki Kaurismäki a little bit earlier, but this is a great road picture. Have you seen this one? Classic Stanley Kramer film. I love Spencer Tracy in this too. Look at that cover art too. It's really nice. Anyway, which ones have I talked? I guess I've talked about this one. I should really talk about that. This one has been in the pile for the longest time. This is not a Criterion film, and is not a road picture. I don't think this is a road picture. Maybe it is a road picture. I don't know. But this was a first watch for me probably about a month ago, and I absolutely love it.
Sorry.
What was that?
I dropped something.
Oh, you dropped something?
Yeah. Was
it the Rubik's Cube?
No.
I thought you were trying to. I thought it was a thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was the thunder.
It was a thunder.
Oh, speaking of thunder.
Rolling Thunder. We had some.
I saw this movie for the first time in the last month. Let me know what you think about it. Rolling Thunder, directed by John Flynn, with the screenplay by Paul Schrader. I know a lot of people. I love Paul Schrader. Really amazing films. But William Devane in this one, I believe this is one of Quentin Tarantino's top favorite films. You can see why when you watch it, especially the ending of the movie. Tommy Lee Jones is amazing in this one. This was in my pile of current watches and I hadn't shown it. There's the back of that one. This one has interviews with actors William Devane and Tommy Lee Jones and writers Paul Schrader and Haywood Gould. But I'll read a little bit of the back of this one. What a unique story. This one had me from the beginning. When Major Charles Rain, William Devane from Marathon Man. Oh, did you just order Rolling Thunder? I was going to go for I think there's a 4K of this one. There's a special edition of this one, but this one was inexpensive, so I picked it up as a Blu-ray, but I probably will upgrade this one at some point. But Modesty Blaze, let me know if you've seen this one already, or anyone in the chat. When Major Charles Rain returns home to San Antonio, Texas, he is given a hero's welcome. He and his friend John had endured 8 years of physical and mental torture in a POW camp. The adjustment to his old life isn't going to be easy. His wife, Janet, has fallen. I guess I shouldn't reveal the whole plot of the movie here, but
I mean, it is on the back.
It is on the back of the movie, yeah. Oh, we only had the Blu-ray and it was cheap here. I need to upgrade this one because the other one, I noticed the upgrade has extra features on it.
Did you watch this on the Criterion channel?
I don't think I did. I think I watched this on like Tubi or something. That's the other thing. We're watching a little bit of Pluto TV and Tubi. Usually if I want to preview a film, I'll look for a streaming service that I have or something that's free. So I think it's on one of the streaming services, I think, but that's where I first watched it.
Oh, Tubi, yeah.
It's on Tubi, yeah. From 1977. 95 minutes. 95 minutes. Hall & Oates is here. Hello, Hall & Oates. Welcome. Yeah, the young Quentin Tarantino was obsessed with this movie. I can see why, especially the ending of the movie. You can see how he kind of patterns a few of his movies after this one.
Well, and the theme a little bit too. Right?
And the theme of it too. And it also, Rolling Thunder. We just had a thunderstorm here.
That's right.
Rolling Thunder. But highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it before. It's really great, really creative. William Devane, one of my favorites. Directed by John Flynn. The Outfit, which is another one of my favorites. And Paul Schrader, of course, from Taxi Driver and so many other movies. And Haywood Gould from Fort Apache, who participated in Fort Apache, The Bronx, which is one of my favorite movies with Paul Newman. It's a really great film, Wayne. Really, really amazing. Really, William Devane is brilliant in this. Tommy Lee Jones, of course, great. Hall & Oates said Rolling Thunder was good. Young Tarantino. Yeah, let me know what you think about it, Modesty Blaze, too. Because I like it. This is a top favorite. This will be in my top favorite films of the 1970s for sure. And I don't know how I was thinking about. I don't know how I'm going to transition to this, but before we continue with road pictures, we're usually on for about an hour here on Saturdays. And again, thanks so much for everyone for joining today. We'll talk about some more road pictures here, but I do want to talk about a couple other things.
Oh, like these ones are probably good.
I know I have like a bunch of those, but I wanted to talk about this
two
first before I get into it.
Or better, because you watched them like around the same time.
I just want to talk about another thing that we watched over the last week, and then we'll do more because
yeah, that's a rough transition right there.
Is that going to be a rough transition from Rolling Thunder? If you haven't seen this movie before, this is
For something totally different.
This is complete, and now for something completely different. This is Waitress the musical. I don't know how I could go from one to the other, but I thought I really like this a lot. We got this on digital, and then I had to order it right away. And it is, if you like musicals, if you're interested in a lighter movie, because we had a very serious. We've been talking about very serious movies with Fallen Leaves and Amanda, Two Lane Blacktop. It's a Mad World's not a serious one, but if you like musicals, highly recommend this one. And we really had a blast watching it.
Yeah, it's really good.
And it's a filming of the. There's been many casts, well, not many casts, but there's been another cast, I think, other than Sarah Bareilles, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
But the songs in this are great. I really think it's a very creative, of course, based on the movie Waitress.
Right.
And I think I was looking for the actress on here that was thanked, but I can't see. Adrian Shelley, of course.
Yeah.
Participated in the other one. But anyway, if you like lighter things,
well, it's not super light. It's still kind of.
It's still pretty serious, but there's music in it. You know, a lot of music in it.
Yeah.
Because it's a musical.
Yeah, but it's still there's some heavy topics in there. It's not.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You are right. You're right about that. Skolder said, "I don't like." Yeah, let us know.
What don't you like about the musical?
What? I don't know, Skolder. You might like this one. I really liked it. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, which I didn't pull from today, but
that's in last week's.
We talked about that in last week's video. It seems like we could talk forever about road pictures, but speaking of,
I wonder what you don't like about the musical, because I am particular about a musical because sometimes the songs get to me if they don't have enough depth. You know, like I don't like Hairspray because I don't like Good Morning Baltimore.
Because you don't like one of the songs?
Because it gets stuck in my head, and then the whole song is just about Good Morning Baltimore, and then we've gone from like Good Morning to wait, it doesn't take us anywhere. Whereas I like Sondheim musicals because the songs take you somewhere, and in Waitress the musical, the songs take you somewhere.
Yeah, it really moves the story along, right?
They're not just an accent to the rest of the story. Yeah.
I just think I like music. I like seeing people singing and dancing. I like a good story. I like the acting. I mean, there's some great acting in there as well.
Yeah.
Wayne said anything with Clint Eastwood is good, and that's a great transition to this movie, which we talked about briefly last week. This is a road picture, which is one of the first Clint Eastwood films I watched. We may have talked about it last week, but I hadn't pulled the movie, and I had it on DVD, and I recently rewatched this one within the last month. And wow, they really shoot up a bus in this one.
And does that have the house in it too?
This has a house in it. I mean, they really use a lot of ammunition, basically.
That's kind of like in that one season of Fargo, right, where they shoot the house.
Yeah, I know. I mean, again, this was one of the first Clint Eastwood movies that I saw. I'm going to read a little bit of the back, but Phoenix cop Ben Shockley's dream of breaking, quote, the big case has faded over time. His assignment to escort from Las Vegas a nothing witness for a nothing trial seems like another meaningless exercise until the fireworks begin. And boy, do they begin. Yeah. Sandra Locke is in this one, who gives a great performance.
Well, I think you had started watching Clint Eastwood films because a few lives ago, someone asked us about Clint Eastwood films.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I'm watching a lot of the Clint Eastwood.
They were on your mind, and so you started watching more of them.
Well, along with a director like Kaurismäki, I got into Don Siegel films, which because Don Siegel directed Dirty Harry and Charlie Varick. So I started watching some Don Siegel films, and so Dirty Harry is right up there for me too. I love the music in there. Lalo Schifrin, I was really into the music of Lalo Schifrin, as you know from listening to all the music that we play in the morning. I play like these 70s cop films, the themes in the morning. It's not exactly relaxing listening. It's not easy listening, but but The Gauntlet, Wayne, you should really watch this again if you get a chance, because it's really good. This one really holds up. And Clint Eastwood, I think he's great in this. I got a couple of other ones just because of the Don Siegel connection there too, like Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Skulder, what is your favorite? What are some of your favorite Clint Eastwood films? Skulder said likes most Clint Eastwood films. I think we talked about this one last week too.
Maybe, but someone had mentioned it. Someone mentioned it last week, and we had talked about it the week before or something. I can't remember.
I really like this rewatch too. This is Convoy with Chris Christopherson, Ali McGraw. This is I hadn't seen this one in many years, and of course, a lot of people are familiar with the song from the 70s. This is from 1978. Also 110 minutes, so it meets the requirement of the shorter movie. Below 120 minutes, right? Less than 120 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a Kino Lorber release, and I watched some of the extra features on this too, because this, believe it or not, is the Sam Peckinpah movie. So you get a lot of slow motion car crashes and truck crashes, which I enjoyed in a movie. This was mastered in HD. This is kind of like, again, I'm looking at the back here. When the Western film for many decades, the staple of the American cinema, suffered a decline in the 70s, a new subspecies helped fill the void. The trucking epic.
Oh boy.
The trucking epic. Yeah, The Gauntlet. I highly recommend The Gauntlet, by the way, if you haven't seen that. But this really held up for me. I really enjoyed this. And you don't hear the song Convoy the whole way through, right? They play a little bit, little pieces of it.
It has a good balance.
Yeah.
You're not just hearing about the convoy, you get to see them do some cool stuff.
But of course, Sam Peckinpah, who directed The Wild Bunch and other films, directed this action classic based on the runway hit song. I didn't realize it was based on that song, but who is in pursuance of a feud with Sheriff Lyle, who's played by Ernest Borgnine, who was in Marty and many other films, of course. Is that thunder out there? Yeah. Is that Rolling Thunder?
Yeah.
Now that I was talking about Rolling Thunder. Unforgiven. Yeah, Unforgiven is a great... thanks for mentioning this, Skulder. Unforgiven, what a brilliant film that is. The Dollars trilogy, of course, A Perfect World. I don't think I've seen A Perfect World, but...
Is the Dollars trilogy like the Westerns?
The Westerns, yeah, which we have. Yeah, that's right. Yes, we do. We have those. But I didn't realize, too, this has I was trying to see this one has a feature called In-Jokes, Friends, and Cameos, which is basically Sam Peckinpah put a bunch of his friends in the movie, and he talks about how they named the trucks also. One of the actors, I think, was in The Godfather, I think. I'm not sure. I may be getting this wrong, but so they named the truck. I think he played Paulie in The Godfather, I believe. So it was like Paulie's Trucking or something like that.
Mm. Oh, so, yeah, that's like in the bonus feature or something.
The bonus features, yeah. It's called, I think the bonus feature is called In-Jokes, Friends, and Cameos. There's a Passion and Poetry Sam's Trucker movie. There's another trucker movie for 73 minutes in this here. And this also, and then an audio commentary, which is good too. So Convoy, which I know we talked about. Yes. Let's see, we have about 10 minutes here too. So any questions? Let us know what you're watching. Yeah, we talked about all these here, right? Too. Yeah, we can talk about a few more of these too.
These are the rest
we were trying to decide today, since we're trying to vary up the genre, and we were trying to think if this is kind of a journey type thing. But I haven't really had a chance to talk about this, and maybe I mentioned it in a video, but
I think a long time ago.
Yeah, this is another one too. The Getaway. Modesty Blaze mentioned The Getaway. Steve McQueen and Ali McGraw. What a great film that is too. Amazing film from the 70s. Let me know too in the chat if there's something you want us to talk about next week, because I think this will be the last week for road films. We could probably talk about road films like for many weeks to come, but I feel like we should maybe talk about some other films or another
Probably.
topic.
Yeah, if
So
you have a
let-
topic or want recommendations for something. Or...
Yeah, if you have a topic, I'm sure we'll talk about Criterion films as we go. I was going to mention one bit of news I should mention before we go is how does everyone feel about the? There was some news this week that Criterion and Janus Films sell to Indian Paintbrush founder Steve Rails. Indian Paintbrush is a film production. I'm just reading this note that I created. Is a film production company that has produced and financed all the Wes Anderson films. Now, this is a billionaire, I believe, that bought the company. So I'm hoping nothing's going to happen. There was a lot of talk online about, what could happen with Criterion and Janus, but it seems like you've got a film lover again at the helm of this. So I'm not too worried about it, but also interested to hear what you think about it. Anyone that supports physical media, classic films, older films, I'm all for it. So it doesn't sound like there's too much danger of anything changing, at least in the beginning here. But it was interesting news to hear that Criterion and Janus Films have been sold. So any other questions, let us know too. Skulder said A Perfect World has Kevin Costner as the lead. Is anyone going to see the new Kevin Costner movie too? Let us know. Escaped convict kidnaps a boy and is chased by Eastwood. It's a road movie. Heist films. I have a film called Heist with Gene Hackman also, which is pretty good. We could talk about heist films.
Oh yeah, I can think of a bunch.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah. That's a great one. So, again, let us know in the chat, or if you're watching this on replay, let us know any topics, but maybe let's do heist films next week. I think that's a good one.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially since I remember that I had the film called Heist. As long as we don't realize every film is a heist film.
So would that include like Heat?
Heat would be a heist film, I would say.
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Taking Pelham, yeah, we're mentioning all the heist films now.
Those are the ones that come to mind first.
I mean, I'm sure there's other heist films, but
I think we're
heist films it is. And we're going to keep a running list of the topics.
All right, I'll start on the thumbnail so we don't.
Jesse's working on the thumbnail already, so that's what we're talking about next week. But we were wondering about this one. I feel like there is a bit of a journey with this one, and I was wondering if anyone has seen this. And that is Primal. Has anyone seen this before? This is I don't watch many animated things, but this is brilliant, and it is from Jenny Tartakovsky. Yeah, Tartakovsky. This is the complete full season with the digital code, but it's basically there's not a lot of dialogue because this is a caveman at the dawn of evolution and a dinosaur on the brink of extinction are bonded by tragedy. Sounds perfect for me. That sounds like a perfect film for me.
I don't think there's any dialogue.
I mean, you're right. I don't think there is any dialogue. It's a caveman.
It's kind of like
But it's an unlikely friendship. You know how much I like unlikely friendships?
Unlikely pet friends?
Unlikely pet friends.
Unlikely pet friends.
I don't know if anyone's seen that, videos with unlikely pet friends, but that's one of my favorite things to watch on TikTok when you see like a deer and a rabbit becoming friends.
Yeah, like a dog and a cat.
Like a dog and a cat becoming friends. I love that. But
yeah.
But let me know if you've seen this before. This is really great. We got season two here.
Yeah.
We have to rewatch these. Season 2 of Primal, the complete second season. I think you could probably watch this online somewhere. I want to say.
I feel like you could see.
I'm hearing some rolling thunder now that we talked about it.
Yeah, it's
getting dark in here.
Dark.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Primal is on Sling TV, Max, Hulu,
so you can still see this on Max.
Prime.
You can see this on Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Max if you don't have it already. But this is really great. Primal. Just a caveman and his dinosaur.
Yep.
But they go on some adventures. I would say there's kind of a journey type thing.
But it's adult and serious. It's not like.
Yeah.
It's not for children.
It's not really for kids. This is very adult for sure. And there is some violence in it. I mean, it is caveman times and dinosaur times.
The cover. It's pretty serious.
There's a lot of arrows there. What's everyone watching tonight? Are you going to go to the theater? Are you seeing I know Bridget mentioned seeing Furiosa. I don't think we're planning to see that. Modesty Blaze says it's on Channel 4 in the UK, which is great too. So let us know what you think about that. But I really liked it, and I don't watch many animated things, but I do like that one.
It got very dark.
It got very dark, yeah. One of our favorite movies from 2023 is a kind of a journey movie, which is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I hope they make another one of these because I really enjoyed this one. It was very entertaining.
It's also a little bit of a heist.
It's kind of a heist movie, also.
I think so.
Can we include this in the heist movies? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it a heist movie? Does a heist movie has to involve some kind of a heist, right?
Well, they do try to steal something in the beginning.
Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
And I think they have to get something back in the end.
You have to get something back. There's the back of that. I always like to show the back too, in case you want to see the artwork. You don't have this one. You can see what it looks like. But we really like this one a lot. This was a great, fun, humorous. There's a lot of humor in this one. Wayne said I used to watch Shrek from time to time. We were thinking about rewatching Shrek.
Well,
but isn't there Shrek the musical also?
Yeah. But
musical?
Because the DreamWorks land is opening in Universal next month, so we were thinking about Shrek.
We've been thinking about maybe going to Universal Studios in Florida, but I don't know if we're going to do it. I think we've been interested. We've been watching some videos, but we're not sure if we want to do it. But they are opening what is it? The DreamWorks land. So there's going to be some Shrek there.
Shrek is there and Donkey.
But they had a Shrek ride though too, right? There's a Shrek ride that I was mentioning to you about in Universal Studios Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it's like it's like the Terminator. It's kind of like the Terminator.
Yeah, well, I think they just took the Shrek components from Universal and then added trolls and some minions and some other things I don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, we're thinking about it for sure. Sculder said, and again, Sculder, hope you feel better. We'll finish up with Laurel Hardy shorts, and if we can finish the day with a full-length film, which is good. I have been watching more films lately. Usually, we watch a couple of episodes of Walking Dead, and then I will try to do a film at night if I can.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun to see Shrek again too.
Yeah, I haven't seen Shrek in a long time. I used to hear it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Well, my cousins used to watch it in the back of the car, so I've heard it a lot, but I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it a lot,
yeah. I think I have a few more films here, but I'll finish up with this one and we'll save the rest for another time, I guess. I can talk about I'll talk about the remaining ones maybe next week in the beginning.
Sure.
A few more that I pulled here, but this one, speaking of the Aki films I was talking about earlier, Jim Jarmusch, if you're not familiar with Kaurismäki, Jim Jarmusch is kind of, and they work together, I believe, too. This is a road picture too, very independent road picture, but a good one. A very quiet one, Stranger Than Paradise, which has a Criterion release, spy number 400, and there's the back of that one too. And this one goes from the East Village, I think, or Lower East Side to the snowy expanses of Lake Erie and the drab beaches of Florida. But it is a road trip type of a film, and highly recommend it. Is that Rolling Thunder again? I'm here.
It's thunder again. It's very dark.
Now that I spoke about it.
Raining.
Maybe I can show a couple more of these before we go. We have Stagecoach. These are the ones we pulled from today. Stagecoach with John Ford. Again, another great Criterion release. Criterion number 516. And thanks to you, Wayne. I really love Jim Jarmusch. I would highly recommend any Jim Jarmusch movies, especially the Criterion releases if you can get them, because they have great Q&As with Jim Jarmusch on them. Really, really entertaining. I literally sit there with a notebook and I write down notes of other things, other books I want to read, other movies I want to see, from the questions that he answers. But anyway, Stagecoach is here. Isn't
it in Falling Leaves? There's The Dead Don't Die is featured.
The Dead Don't Die is featured in Modesty Blaze said only Mystery Train. That's a great one too. Mystery Train is great. Night on Earth is really good. Down by Law. But again, if you're a Kaurismäki fan, it's a very similar vibe. I'll just mention a couple more of these because we talked about them last week. The Darjeeling Limited, also very good. This is a train journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spy number 540. There's the back of that one.
Three Brothers on a Train.
Three Brothers on a Train, which is great. Another Wes Anderson film. This one, maybe I haven't talked about it. This is a Warner Archive release of The Frisco Kid with Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford, which I think is great. And this is a journey on horses. It's a horse journey. And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles we talked about last week too, which is great. Classic Planes,
They're
Trains.
trying to go on a journey on this one.
They try to go on a journey. They're just trying to get home in this one, right? There's the back of that.
Yeah, we frequently say, how do they know which way we're
Those
going?
aren't two pillows. That's
how
a classic.
How do they know which way we're going?
How do they know which way we're going?
You're going the wrong way.
You're going the wrong way. How do they know which way we're going? This is what we do all day. We quote all these movies that we're watching. And of course, this is a classic journey type of a film, transformation type film, Apocalypse Now, the Final Cut, which is a 4K. I'm not a big fan of the packaging here, but this is the 40th anniversary with the, speaking of the redo, because we said part due for today, right?
Yeah.
So,
that was
oh boy. Was that a door or not?
A door.
Not a thundercloud, yeah. Oh, The Chase with Charlie Sheen. I think I have that one. I think I might have that one, yeah. So next week we're going to talk about heist films, thanks to Modesty Blaze, and we will talk about heist films. Great idea for a topic, so we'll do that. Jesse's already working on the thumbnail for that, and right. So that'll be up on Tuesday. You can, if you set up your notifications, you can see when we're going to be doing this. But we've been doing these on Saturdays at 1:00 Eastern time, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We really had a great time doing these, and happy to entertain any final questions, or if you're watching this on replay, leave me a question or a comment. I try to get to as many of those as I can. And we're just having a great time. Happy that the warm weather is here now and enjoying the summer. I'm sure we'll talk about summer type movies at some point, but next week we'll talk about heist films.
Yeah.
It's funny whenever we have a topic like that too, it seems like a lot of movies maybe have a heist or some kind of a thing in there where you could say this is a heist film too.
Right.
But anyway, Paris, Texas. What a great film that is too. Wim Wenders, Paris, Texas. I'm looking forward to seeing his new movie, which is coming out on the Criterion Collection too. Mm. Perfect Day, I think it's called. Yeah. Which sounds like very similar to a Kaurismäki movie also. I don't know if you can hear that thunder, but there's some thunder here now.
Yeah.
Rolling thunder.
I remembered something we forgot to put on the list.
What did we say?
Maybe we'll talk about it next week. But that new documentary about the Brat Pack.
Oh, yeah. Is that on Max?
I think it's going to be on Hulu next month.
Hulu. Okay. Sometimes if the documentary if it seems too generic, I generally don't like the Beach Boys thing. I couldn't really get into it.
Well, because I think we didn't need such a big overview. Like we've sold us on the Beach Boys. We like
the Beach Boys. We want to learn more details about the Beach
history.
Boys. We don't need to see the overview part, but I guess a lot of people don't know the Beach Boys. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. If you're in the U.S., it's a holiday weekend, so I guess have some extra time off. But we really appreciate everyone that joins these live streams and that leaves a comment, asks a question. And we'll be back next week. I think we'll be back next week. Again, we'll talk about heist films, but you can always leave a suggestion for a topic in the comment section, and we'll keep those on a list.
Yep.
And we'll ask everyone what they'd like to talk about next week. But again, thanks to everyone, and we'll talk to everyone very soon. Did you want to say anything at the end?
No, I don't think so.
Goodbye, everybody.